I, 43 am, have always been really close to my family, my siblings, their spouses, our kids, and my parents. Every year around this time, we take a 2-week vacation together, returning right before Christmas. This trip has become a tradition that most of us look forward to, a chance to reconnect and make memories. This year, however, things are different. The trip is just a week away, and I've made it clear that I won't be going, unless they disinvite Jeff. Jeff, 16M, is my nephew's best friend, but he's also a nightmare. And Jeff is going on this family trip. I'm divorced and a single dad to my 15-year-old daughter, Emily. She proudly calls herself a nerd, quirky, awkward, and proud of it. She loves anime, video games, Star Wars, you name it. She's always been a little different, and that's part of what makes her amazing. But growing up as a weird kid hasn't been easy. Emily was bullied relentlessly throughout middle school. She's stronger now, more resilient, and the bullying has mostly stopped. But one person has made her life miserable since day one, Jeff. Jeff isn't just a typical mean kid. He's actively hostile toward Emily. Over the years, I've tried everything. Talking to the school, having meetings with his parents, switching Emily's classes multiple times. Yet Jeff continues to pick on her. This isn't just name-calling. He pulls her hair, rips her clothes, destroys her belongings. There was even a fight between them that got both suspended because Jeff stole her backpack and dunked in a toilet in the boys' bathroom. Jeff is a full-blown nightmare. When I found out Jeff was coming on this family trip, I nearly lost it. I told my sister immediately, without thinking too much, that Emily and I wouldn't be going. She begged me to reconsider, talking about tradition and family. I stood firm and said no. I was even willing to pay my share of the trip costs, but I wouldn't go if Jeff was there. After long back and forth, I finally said I'd go, but only if Jeff was disinvited. My family grew up in a financially stable and supportive environment. Jeff, however, comes from a turbulent, unstable home, and that's obvious in the meetings I had with his parents. His dad was indifferent, and his mom actually blamed Emily for everything. It's heartbreaking. I don't wish any child to live like Jeff does, but I told my sister my stance is non-negotiable. She tried to justify it by saying Jeff has divorced parents, that maybe his behavior is just a crush, or that he needs a break from his toxic home life. I respect that, but why does that mean I should force my daughter to spend 2 weeks locked in a house with her tormentor? I'm not budging, and now the family is in chaos. My parents are begging me to go. I'm getting endless texts. Emily told me she won't go if Jeff is coming. She even had a panic attack over it. So maybe I'm looking for validation here, or maybe I'm selfish. But am I really the asshole? After I made the firm decision to send a message to the whole family that Emily and I would not be joining the family trip if Jeff was still invited, a real wave of tension erupted within the family. Calls and texts from my parents, siblings, and extended relatives kept pouring in. They said I was being too rigid, lacking empathy, and breaking a family tradition that had lasted for years. They didn't understand the pain Emily has been enduring. Didn't grasp why I had to put my daughter's well-being above everything else. I listened and tried to explain, but the more I explained, the wider the gap grew between me and my loved ones. My mother, with tears in her eyes, told me, "Honey, family is everything. Don't let one small issue ruin all the love we share." But to me, it wasn't a small issue. It was a long, painful journey my daughter had been through. Fighting fear and daily harm caused by someone who was now being invited to spend 2 weeks with us. How could I watch my daughter suffer through another 2 weeks of that nightmare? Emily had already experienced panic attacks, so severe that I had to wake her in the middle of the night, soothing her minute by minute until she finally calmed down. Honestly, I couldn't let that happen again. Instead of joining the big family trip, I chose to take Emily on a small getaway, just the two of us. We went to a peaceful beach town, no Jeff, no haunting shadows, just the gentle sound of waves, endless blue skies, and rare moments of calm. There, Emily laughed more, played freely, and I saw my daughter come back to life, rediscover herself after so many days lost to anxiety and fear. During this time, I also realized that family isn't always harmonious or unanimous. There are differences that only become clear when you face them. But I believe true love can overcome everything. Maybe right now, I'm the one causing division, but in the future, I hope everyone will understand that I was only protecting the most precious thing in my life, my daughter. I also understand that Jeff is a child who needs care and help. His difficult family situation has deeply affected his behavior and soul. But that can't justify sacrificing my daughter's safety and peace of mind. Every child deserves protection from harm, no matter where it comes from. In the weeks that followed, I kept in close contact with the school and mental health professionals to support Emily in becoming stronger when she returned to class. I taught her how to protect herself, how to make good friends, and most importantly, how to recognize her own worth, so no one could hurt her again. Though my family is still tense, with tough conversations ahead, I feel I did the right thing. I've learned that being a parent isn't always about being loved and understood immediately. Sometimes it means accepting loneliness in your decisions and daring to stand alone to protect your child. The most important thing now is that Emily can sleep peacefully, go to school without fear, and live as her true self. I believe what I'm doing today will give her a better future. Family is the foundation of life. But that foundation only holds strong when every member feels safe and loved. If one piece is deeply hurt and left unhealed, the family picture can never be whole. I don't know what the future holds or whether things will heal, but I know I will always stand by my daughter, protecting her at all costs. That's what real fatherhood means. And if you ask me now, are you the asshole? My answer remains no. I am a father doing everything in my power to keep his child safe and happy. The one thing every parent deserves to do. The reality is, Jeff's behavior has been devastating for Emily. At first, I try to rationalize it as kids being kids, but this went beyond teasing or playground squabbles. Jeff's actions were violent and unrelenting. Emily came home with tears in her eyes, her clothes torn, and her belongings damaged. I had countless meetings with the school and even met with Jeff's parents multiple times. Yet, Jeff never changed. His father didn't seem to care. His mother blamed Emily, accusing her of being the troublemaker. I've had to move Emily to different classes multiple times just to avoid Jeff, but it never seemed to matter. Jeff would find ways to torment her regardless. The final straw was when Jeff stole Emily's backpack and threw it into the boys' bathroom toilet. Emily was so upset, she had a full breakdown. She was suspended, and I spent nights consoling her through panic attacks. That's when I realized I couldn't be passive anymore. Protecting my daughter became my top priority. When my sister mentioned buying Jeff a winter coat for the trip, I felt like I was about to explode. I couldn't wrap my head around the idea of Jeff, the person who had caused so much pain to my daughter, being welcomed warmly by the family. I told my sister straight up, I'm not going if Jeff is going. She pleaded with me, saying Jeff needs this trip, that maybe his feelings for Emily, that it's about giving him a break from his home life. I get that Jeff's life is rough. No child should have to live with unstable parents or emotional neglect. But why should Emily's safety and peace of mind come second? Why should the person who has been tormented have to tolerate their tormentor? My sister didn't have an answer. It seemed like family tradition, and pity for Jeff took precedence over Emily's well-being. I refused to sacrifice my daughter's mental and emotional health just so Jeff could have a break. After our heated conversation, I was bombarded with calls and messages from family members. Most urged me to be more understanding, to think about the bigger picture, and to not ruin family traditions. But none of them had sat with Emily while she sobbed on my shoulder or dealt with the aftermath of her panic attacks. None had seen the way she flinched when Jeff was around. I tried to explain everything again, but most people sided with Jeff. They felt sorry for him and thought he deserved a chance to be included. My own mother called and told me this trip was a way to help Jeff feel accepted and loved by family. I told her that if helping one child means hurting another, then we need to rethink what family really means. I felt isolated in my own family, but I couldn't compromise my daughter's safety. Emily had told me she wouldn't go if Jeff went, and that she had panic attacks just thinking about it. That broke my heart, but it also steeled my resolve. I promised her I would protect her, even if that meant missing the trip or breaking family traditions. So I sent a message to the whole family. Emily and I will not attend this year's trip if Jeff is going. I'm willing to forfeit my share of the trip costs, but I refused to put my daughter in danger for 2 weeks. Instead, I planned a small trip for just the two of us, a peaceful getaway where Emily could feel safe, be herself, and not have to worry about Jeff. Emily was overwhelmed with relief and gratitude. We spent the holidays together in a quiet beach town, laughing, playing games, and watching movies. She was finally able to relax, to enjoy being a teenager without fear. The difference in her was palpable, and that's when I knew I'd made the right choice. Some family members later apologized for not understanding sooner. Others remained silent. I'm okay with that. The most important thing is that my daughter felt protected and loved. As for Jeff, I truly hope someone helps him find a better path. But that responsibility is not on Emily's shoulders. As a parent, sometimes you have to make the tough call, to be the bad guy, to break tradition, to stand alone if needed, because above all, your child's safety and happiness come first. This year, I didn't go on the family trip, but for the first time in a long time, I felt like I did my job as a father. But it wasn't just about avoiding Jeff. That trip, the quiet beach town, the shared meals, the late-night walks on the sand, became something more, something sacred. There was one night I'll never forget. Emily and I were sitting on a small wooden pier, legs dangling over the edge, watching the moonlight ripple across the water. She turned to me and said, "Dad, do you think they'll ever understand?" I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to say yes, to give her that comfort. But the truth is, I wasn't sure. Not everyone sees the world through the lens of those who've been hurt, especially when the person doing the hurting is someone they've chosen to protect. But that moment with Emily, that vulnerability in her voice, the softness in her eyes, I knew I didn't need the family's validation. I had hers. That night, I told her the truth. I don't know if they'll understand, Em, but I do know this. I see you. I believe you. And I will never stop fighting for you.